Hey folks, thanks for joining me. This is Valiant Customs. I'm Steve. This video, well, let me just. This video, I want to put drop spindles on my '96 extended cab. It's lowered. I'm putting 2-inch. I think they're 2-inch or 2.5-inch drop spindles on it. I ordered these quite a while ago. Look, you know what? Let me turn you around and I'll show you. So as you can tell, I ordered these quite a while ago. Yeah, they're pretty dusty. But let's see. All right, but they're not rusted or anything, so that's good. Not sure how to say the name. I believe it's McGoy's, but I'm not sure. But that's it, the number and everything. Let's see, part number. That's the part number for them. Well, before I get started on it and everything, I'm kind of ashamed on how dirty this truck is, how the frame and just everything about it is. Well, hey, you know what? Let's get you right in there and take a little gander at her. Yeah, she's not pretty. Kind of neglected. Ball joints are covered in crap, grease, and at least they were getting greased at one point. Rotors look like junk. Just turn. It's hard to turn, so I'll probably end up replacing the brake line at some point. Oh my goodness. You know what? Before I get doing anything, I'm gonna clean this up. So all this rust and junk that I'm cleaning off of here, guys, this is just part of living in Michigan. I'll tell you what, the cars here, look at them. They get rust all over. And that's just part of living in the Rust Belt or whatever it's called. But yeah, it sucks, but oh well, we'll get it cleaned up. Not sure how much you guys saw of all that, but it's a mess. I got a lot of the big chunks of the grease off and everything like that, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and spray some super clean on it and hopefully try to break up a little bit more stuff, and then I'll just wipe it down. Boy, that rust, stuff gets everywhere. And then from there, I'll wash it with super clean and spray it down with some water, so it's somewhat clean when we go into it. And because I hate working on dirty, nasty stuff that people just didn't clean or something like that. I mean, even when I had my own little auto business going, when I greased cars and stuff, I'd grease them, and then I'd always go back and I'd clean off the grease zerks and, you know, anywhere grease came out, you know, so the customer didn't have to see all that BS on there and everything. But anyways, enough yapping. I'm gonna go ahead and spray this down and wipe it down, and then I'll bring you guys back. Then hopefully we can get started on doing the drop spindles. The old Super Clean did a pretty decent job of getting a lot of the junk off of it, at least not getting too bad. I'm gonna go ahead and shut down for a minute and get all this stuff cleaned up again. And then we'll get started on the spindles. So the way I had the jack stand underneath this wheel, that's not ideally the way you want it. You want it back here on the frame, that way this is all open. Then you can take your jack and put it underneath over here. You can put your jack under here of the control arm. That way when you loosen everything up, when it releases and the spring's right there and everything, you can lower it down with the jack and it won't just take off on you. At least you hope it doesn't. Because if these springs come out of here, it ain't pretty. So let's go ahead and finish getting started on this. Just that little bit of banging. Look at all the junk on the ground, all the rust on the ground again. But when you guys get your caliper off, you want to tie it up. You don't want it to hang and end up hurting the brake hose. This one, I don't really care because, like I said in the video or earlier, I plan on putting new brake lines on this, or brake hoses on it anyways. So I'm not too worried about that right now at this point. But when you guys do it, if your brake lines and brake hoses are good, make sure you tie them up, because the weight will end up messing up. I don't know if you can see it, messing up this pipe, this hose here. It could cut the line, you know, things like that. Not really sure what I'm getting myself into here with this tie rod. I would have thought that it would have had a cotter pin through it, but There ain't no cotter pin. Oh well, let's see what we can do. Ooh, that's way smaller. This would be easier if you guys were not in my way. So I'm gonna move you. What in the world? Here, take this. There, how's that? Feels like I'm just turning. All right, we might have some other issues here. Not good. Darn it, come on. Yeah, it's spinning. The whole stud in there is spinning, so that's not doing me any good. Let me spray it down with some PB Blaster, maybe some heat. I'll bring you back. These are a tapered fit, so by jacking it up and wedging it in there better, hopefully it won't spin and I'll be able to get this off of here. But it doesn't feel like it's working better. Feels like it's still turning. I may end up replacing the tie rod on this thing too. Tie rod and ball joints, and just redo all the suspension I get. Oh hey, now it's might be turning. Let's redo everything, I guess. Oh yeah, now it's coming off of there. Slowly but surely. Persistence. That's the thing, persistence. So when you get it down so far, it's, oops. So it's loose. That's good. Now I'm going to go ahead and lower the jack down. And maybe we can get this to fall out of here by hitting the side here. Yep, there it goes. Okay. Whole lot more rust being knocked off. Okay. Get this jack right out of here. I hope I'm not boring you guys too much or dragging this out too much or anything like that. In some spots, I'm going to go ahead when I edit it, I'll speed it up and go through it and stuff. But I just want to be able to, I want to show everybody what they're going to have to do to change the spindles on their vehicle, on their truck or whatever they do. Because it's all about the same on any of the vehicles. Except some might have struts or something like that, but that's something a little bit, I mean, it's about the same stuff, just a little bit different shock and spring. So I just, please stick with me and we'll get this done, and I pray that everybody that hasn't done it, that wants to do their own spindle, will be able to go ahead and do their own spindle after watching this video. There's other videos, but some of them, they just fly right through them and stuff, and I don't know if people are, if everything that they have or their questions, I don't know if they're getting answered. So in this video also, on this truck, if there's any questions on what I'm doing or anything like that, put it in the comments, because I have another truck that's going to be coming in for the same thing, spindles. This one's probably going to get springs at some point too, and that one is also getting springs and spindles. This one's also probably going to get calipers. And anyways, enough yapping. I'm going to turn you back around and get back to doing this. So there's the tie rod. It's loose. We're good there. Now we can actually spin this a little bit. And again, like I said, make sure you tie that caliper up if you're not gonna buy a new hose, brake hose, and brake line. Now we got to get in here, and I don't want to hurt this ABS line here, so we'll probably undo that somewhere. But I also want to get the sway bar link loose. This is going to get new sway bar links because this is all shot. The bushings on it and everything. So let's go ahead and get that off of there. I'm going to go ahead and pull this rotor off. Hopefully it'll give me a little extra room. Hopefully, who knows? Yeah, these definitely could use some grease. Look at that. This is all not much grease in there. And the grease that is in there doesn't look very good. So on these, you got a cotter pin that needs to be removed. Now once you get the once you get the cotter pin removed, come out, you, come out. There we go. Once you get the cotter pin removed, then you should be able to remove the castle nut. And then the castle nut's gonna, behind the castle nut is a washer. If you move it forward just a little bit, there we go. Pop it down like that, and the washer and the bearing will pop out, the front one. And then should be able to, hold on, let me get my fingers off. I mean, I don't want to get too much grease on the rotor. I'll use parts cleaner on it to clean it off later, but then you just pull it. Ooh, okay. There we go. Just pull that out like that, and your rotor's off. Ooh. Well, like I was saying, that grease doesn't look very good. I mean, well, it's still squishy. It's not hard grease yet, but, or dried up and everything. You can see all the, all the rust we're dealing with and everything. Backing plates all rusted out. All right, I'll bring you guys back in a minute. This stuff might get done in some stages here, because I mean, look at this. This is the kind of crap we're dealing with here. Rust. The ABS sensor. Oh, let me put that on there. ABS sensor goes through here, but there's no way of undoing it. I get it doesn't look like there's any way of undoing it here. So that means this thing's got to come off, which means I got to trace it up to a, trace it up in here somewhere and undo it and pull it back through here. So there's going to be some stuff going on that I'm not gonna, record on normal speed. It's gonna definitely be on hyperdrive or something, because yeah, this is, whew. Well, it's getting kind of late. I think I'm gonna take a little break and check out prices on some parts, order some parts, and hopefully I'll have them here in time to finish up this video. But I guess I'll catch up with you here in a minute. I started working without recording. I must have forgot what I was trying to do in this video. I don't know. But anyways, I only got as far as this castle nut and this castle nut here. I got them loose. This one, the cotter pin, wouldn't come through. So what I did was, on the back side, I was able to get the tabs that spread apart. I got those off, and then I was able to tap it forward just a little bit, and I was able to like cut the loop that's on this end off. And then with a breaker bar, I put the socket on, breaker bar, and then a cheater bar on that, and let's just say those cotter pins shear off pretty easy. So I just twisted that, and when that comes off, I'll pop the cotter pin through the ball joint so that I can get a new one in there. But let's so now we got this one loose and got that one loose. I still want to get the sway bar link loose, and then I should be able to hit a hammer on here and hit a hammer on here, and those will, I'll do the top one first, so that'll break free. And then the bottom one I'll do, leaving these castle nuts on there. Don't take those off. And then hammer that right there, and it'll jolt it, and then that one will drop down. Then at that point, put the jack under it, jack the control arm up so it's got some tension. Then take the castle nut off, and and then that'll shoot down. Oh, whoops, I still gotta take the shock out of there too. You got to make sure you get that shock out of there. Otherwise it won't drop or anything like you want it to. So let's talk and more doing. Before I do the sway bar link and stuff, I just wanna hit this right here. I just wanna see it fall. I mean, I'm not going in any certain steps as far as how I'm gonna get the spindle out of here, or the spring, or the sway bar link here. I mean, it's sway bar link I'm probably gonna just cut off with a grinder anyways, because I'm gonna get new ones. But I wanna see this thing drop, so I'm gonna go ahead and see how many times it takes to hit this thing for it to drop. Right there. Okay, so that dropped. Thinking maybe I can go ahead and do that one too. Or should I wait? Oh, what the heck. I'm gonna go ahead and hit that one too, I guess. Oh, that one's taking a little bit more, huh? Oh. Let's loosen this up a little bit more. All right, got right there. Come on, baby, break free. Ouch, hit my knee. Oh. Wow. I don't know what's going on with this. Get from this side. Barely. We can try it though. Well, looks like he wants to be a little booger. You guys see it? Move you over a little bit. Still can't really see, can you? Oh, there you can a little bit. Oops. Tearing my hammer up. I want to do that. That's a good hammer. All right, switch to the other side, I guess. Huh, maybe I do need to have the shock loose and the sway bar link. So I guess I'll go ahead and get on that. Take a break first. That's a lot of work. Yeah, I believe the shock and the sway bar link definitely has to come out before this will drop. I mean, the upper part. Let me tilt you a little bit. There we go. The upper control arm, it's loose. So that shock and that sway bar link is what's holding that lower ball joint together, or won't let it drop down to separate. Oh, okay, well, I guess we'll get back to that. We got a load of parts today. That's awesome. Now, I mean, we can plug along and lower in this truck in the front end. I don't know how far I'm going to get tonight. Probably not very far. I got out here kind of late tonight. But I just wanted to get something done on it today. Well, let me turn you around and show you our treasures. So today, this box here, that is the lowering springs. And then, I don't know, well, you can see them over here. Let me get closer. And then over here, we got both, I think that's the passenger and driver's side speed sensors, or ABS, or yeah, speed sensors and dust shields. We got 2 brand new calipers. And on top, we got stainless braided brake hoses. And then we got this mess. So tonight I want to get in here, and I already got the sway bar link out. I just showed you that. Now I want to get in here and get that shock out of here. And I can't tell, but a lot of times, well, let me get under there and show you. So it doesn't look like it on this one, but I don't think. Let me stick my hand in here and see. Oh, yep, maybe it is. So a lot of times there's little like spring clips or whatever that attach to the lower control arm where these shocks hook on, and they'll rust so bad that they'll spin out, or a lot of times you got to cut them off or something like that. And a lot of times people just put a bolt through with a nut on the end, up in here. So that's what I want to get off of here now. I want to get this so the shock is loose, and then I'll go up top and get the top part loose. But I'm not going to show you that part. I'm just gonna pop it off of there. Well, the lower shock bolts did exactly what I thought. They broke off. They were rusted right into those nuts on there. So when I get the arm down and get the spring and everything out of it, I'll go in there and break off those nuts or drill them out or something. So then that way I'll just put other nuts and bolts in there to hold the shock in. Now I have to take care of this top bolt right here. I have to get that off of there so the shock will drop down. Once that drops, the shock drops out of there, then the control arm should be free to fall down. Then I can just whack the side of it and bust that loose. So let's go ahead and get that done. I'm not sure, but when I dropped the shock out of there, I noticed that this castle nut doesn't have as much room in there. So that might have been already knocked loose and everything. I don't know. I'm gonna put the jack under it and see what we can get out of it. Let's see if that castle nut comes up any when I put some jack. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's already loose. That's awesome. We can just turn that castle nut off of there now. Maybe. Yeah, okay. Looks like it's coming off. So we'll just turn this castle nut off of here. Jack this up a little bit more, I guess. I don't know. Well, my jack doesn't seem to want to be holding its tension up there. Darn jack. Go get my other jack, I guess. Maybe not. Here we go. I'll just take this off. Okay. All right, castle nuts off. Let's see what it does. Man, now I can't get it to come loose. Oh. Come on, slowly. Slowly. Okay. That wasn't too bad. seems to have all the tension off of it. We'll go ahead and just pull the jack back on it. Let's go ahead and do this top one now. All right. So there's top and bottom castle nut. It's always a little sketchy when you got to deal with these springs, 'cause I don't know, you never know if the thing's gonna fly out of there and take your head off, or just drop out normal and nice. Ooh, ooh wee. Come on, go down. All right, there we go. There. All right, now you can see the two nuts right there that are welded on from the factory. Those things, almost every single time I go to change a shock, those things always seem to want to break for some reason. I can PB blast them. I mean, I don't heat them up because they're right there by the springs or whatever. But those things always bite me right in the butt because they always break. So anyways, we got that out. I'm gonna get this all cleaned up and I'll bring you back after that. Today's the day. Let's take a little look at these springs. See what kind of beauties we got. Oh, wow. All right, well, here they are. Don't know anything about them other than they are 3-inch drop springs. They're, I don't even know what brand they are, to tell you the truth. I just know that they were on Amazon. They're 3-inch drop springs. Oh, and they're heavy duty. So let's go ahead and get this stuck in there and maybe get the spindles on and everything. Okay, so as you can tell, I kind of put some spray paint on here. I didn't feel it was necessary to show you guys spray painting this. I just did it just to clean it up so it's a little bit nicer to deal with and not so much dirt and grime and everything. But anyways, oh, if you want to know, I took a spray paint can and went sorry, just being kind of funny, I guess. But anyway, so let's go ahead and stick these in here. The spring, the cut end, I don't know if I can show you. Let me bring it. There we go. Okay. In here, light would be nice. Can I get light in there? In here, there's a little a notch. That notch is where that spring's got to go. And then up in here, there's a rubber boot that goes on that. Sorry, there's a rubber boot that goes on top of this, and it's inside the cup here. But it's already in there. It's stuck in there. I'm not even going to try getting it out. I'm good with it. I'll just put the spring in here, jack the lower control arm up, and go from there. This might be a little bit more of a task. fast than what I thought it was gonna be. Usually these shorter ones pop right in. Huh. Wow, okay. Well, oops. Can we, I don't doubt very much it's gonna go in like this. Yeah, that ain't gonna work like that. So, whoop. Bunch of dirt, stuff I didn't want in there. Oops. See, that paint comes right off anyways. Yeah, that's what I get. Okay, so we're in there. We are in the notch for the spring. I can't tell if we're in the cup here. Where are you? Oh. We are not. This needs to go down like that, I guess. There we go. That's better. And then we just jack this up in here. Hopefully it's lined up and going on here. Feels pretty good. So we'll go ahead and just jack it up and see what we get. I think it's in there. Sure feels like it. Yep, it feels like it, so we might be good. All right, so I just put the jack under here, under there. Oops, sorry. Ooh, bouncing you all over the place there. So put the jack under the lower control arm. Line that notch up with the spring up with the notch in there. Lined it up with the rubber boot that's up inside there, our little cup light. And then I jacked it up. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and go grab the spindle, and then we'll put the spindle on here and see what we get there. You can see that I didn't do a great job painting it, but I wasn't doing, it's got rust converter paint on it, and then it's got satin black paint on it. I didn't care about the paint. I just wanted something a little bit more cleaner right now, just for video reasons, basically. Because you don't have to paint this stuff or anything. But let me bring you back. Just so you guys know that it depends on what spindles you get. As far as when you lower it, does it stick your wheel out outside of the not outside of the vehicle, but closer to the outside of the vehicle? It depends. If you buy cheap ones, it'll poke the wheel out, but some spindles are actually made so that the wheel sits back. I think it's a 1/4 inch or something like that, so that it sits back in a little bit further. I heard that these McGoys, I heard that they set in a 1/4 inch. I don't know for sure if they do or not, but I figure what the heck, I'll give it a try, and hopefully they're the right ones where they are stuck in. All right, so let's get this put in. Now, on this one, I usually start with the bottom and put the spindle on the bottom first. That's what I do. You don't have to. You can, I mean, all this stuff's good. You can put together a different way. It doesn't have to be exactly like I do or anything. Okay. Then you can take this one off. Lift this up. Ooh, come on. Oh, push this one in. There we go. Push it down. I don't know, can you guys see in there? No, not really, huh? Okay, on this here, I'll usually jack the jack up a little bit. And that just pushes that upper ball joint through. So you might be able to get the castle nut on a little better. All right. So let's see if I can show you the difference in spindles here. Probably not, because it's off the vehicle already and stuff, but if you look at them, you can tell that, oh, well, I hope if I had you guys back a little further. Okay, well, let's do it like this. So on this one, you can see from here to the top is a pretty big gap. If you look at this one, from here to here, it's not that big of a gap. Let's maybe use a socket to show. Okay, so here's the, whoops. Here it is with the socket on this one. And it's right here at this. And then this one, right here with the socket, it's way up here. So you can definitely tell that it's lowered. Okay, so we got this in here like that, tightening this stuff down. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this stuff down and I'll bring you back. I don't think you guys I need to show you guys tightening up ball joints, but so I'll bring you back. I did want to show you guys one more thing. On this one here, you can see the brown rust on here, this part. It's because the lower control arm is hitting it, and it's because it's the arms themselves, it's at its extended length. So that's why it's hitting right there. I really, even at extended length, I would like for that not to be like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this castle nut off, pull the spindle out a little bit, and just polish this little bit here up a little bit so that it doesn't hit that quite as bad. I don't know if it's showing it better now, but right here you can see there's a step or something on there. Right there they did the machining for it, but there's this little step right here. I'm just gonna kind of blend that in. So this is the little blending I was talking about. I just see if I can turn that a little bit more like that. Oh yeah, there you can see. So I just kind of blend this little edge in a little bit. Should be fine. Shouldn't hurt anything. The wheel does seem to be at full droop now, and turning it, it still is catching just a little bit right there, but at least it's not stopping it from turning. So for right now, I think I'm gonna be okay with it. Maybe. Possibly. So, I don't know. It ain't that bad, I guess. Because once it's jacked up, here, let me show you. I mean, just that little bit, it's already cleared with no issues, and that's not even full drop. Okay, so now you can see there's plenty of room in there. And that's, like I said, that's not even at full drop. But, so that'll be okay. Let's go ahead and hook up everything else, I guess. Hopefully you guys don't mind, but I'm not gonna show you guys the whoops. I'm not gonna show you guys all the, you know, plugging in the plugs for the speed sensor and running the brake lines and things like that. That's not what this video was about. This video was just about how to lower it with springs and with spindles and putting your parts, whoops, stop. About putting all the parts back together. So I'll show you putting the speed sensor on, which is new, looks great. And also I got a brand new caliper that's got to go on. And then from there, that's just plugging in things and running the brake line. So I'm not going to show you guys how to do that on this video. So let's go ahead and get this back together. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and put you in hyperdrive for this. So the tie rod end isn't all the way down, bolted down, but I'll wait for that until I can put my jack under here and kind of push it up to put some pressure on it, and then I'll zip it down. Next is a caliper. And we got new calipers, so this one doesn't really matter. And let's see, let me bring you back in just a second. So now I have a ramp. I ordered these. I ordered from Amazon. I guess I should know better or whatever, I don't know. But guys, when you order parts, don't return your old ones in the box for your money back. This is complete bull crap. What am I supposed to do with this now? Now I gotta send it back to Amazon, and hopefully they don't think I'm the one that put it in there. Anyway, so yeah, it's supposed to be brand new, and it looks like this. A used one that somebody stuck in there and sent it out to me. So calipers aren't getting done on this side. I'm just gonna stick the old one on there, so at least I can show you guys how far to get and everything, and then from there, I probably won't even, I'm frustrated. This is a bummer. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the old one back on, so at least you guys can see how it goes on and so this is all being put back together. And so that, I'm showing you. I don't know if I'm gonna end up actually putting the new wheel I got on here and lowering it down or not. I guess we'll have to see how long it takes them to give me another rotor or another caliper. All right, let's continue on. On another note, at least my passenger one is good. Brand new one, looks great. Has all the hardware with it, where that other one didn't. Anyways, so I'll bring you back in a minute. I did a little dry run here, just to see how far up the spindle is going to travel. So I put it underneath the lower control arm and I jacked it up until well, you know what, let me just turn you around and show you. So I put the jack under the lower control arm and I jacked it up until it was just lifting it up off the frame, just off the jack stand there. And because I wanted to see what issues I might come up with, might end up having and everything. Up here looks good, plenty of room. Let me back you out. If you notice, that spindle it's up in there. And usually the spindle would be down right here, allowing all that travel. Well, that's quite a big difference there. But anyways, one issue I found was the bump stop. Everything seems to be fine and clearing just fine, but the bump stop only has about not even a finger width before it hits. So right here where it curves, I'm just gonna cut that off so that it gives me, I don't know, 1.5 to 2 inches in between the frame and the bump stop. That's just some of the, I want to say some of the side effects of lowering your vehicle, I guess. So that's some things that you might want to watch out for, keep an eye out on and everything. So the bump stop is one, the upper control arm and the lower control arm both. You got to watch those around the rim itself. I believe this is what is this? I think this is a 5 inch or 5.5 inch drop. When you do that, I think they're either 18s or 20s. So I'm not gonna have an issue with my rim itself or my wheel itself hitting upper control arm or the lower control arm. But if you run the stock wheels, you'll probably have to cut or trim some off the control arms. I myself do not like to do that. So putting a little bit bigger wheel on it is not a problem for me. I mean, even if you went with a 16-inch wheel, I believe that gives you enough distance between the lower control arm and the rim where it won't rub or anything. I guess hopefully I'll have the new I'll be able to have the new caliper put on and the wheel back on it and lower it, but I'm not sure. I hope so, but we'll just I'll have to bring you back and we'll have to figure that out. I forgot to mention one more thing. When you lower it down and everything, the stock shock, I don't know. I'm gonna stick the stock shock in there, but I don't believe they work. I usually end up putting S10 shocks in it, and I might have already done that, but I'm pretty sure they're stock. And but anyways, you put S10 shocks in it. Seems to be okay. I did that with the other lowrider that I got. Works fine, works great. Doesn't overextend, doesn't bottom out, nothing. So I guess I'll try the stock one out. I'll show you if it works or not. And if not, then we'll have to wait for some S10 ones. But I can at least put this back together, hopefully put a wheel on it so you can see what it looks like. And at least place the fender up on it so you can see where it's gonna sit in there and everything like that. I believe I now have all the parts to put this together. You guys definitely are not watching this on Monday, the week that I wanted it, or Monday of the week I wanted you to watch it. I had the city on our road is putting in new water and I think sewer lines or something like that. I don't know, but this is now the 5th time that they've hit our fiber optic or fiber internet service, or fiber optics by the road. So I'm not going to be able to send this out or post this on Monday, which is fine because I didn't have all the parts to put it all back together anyways. So now I'm basically a video behind, and I just want to apologize for that. I hate not consistently or finishing a video and putting it out, every Monday. With that, let's go ahead and get turned around, and maybe we can hammer this out and put the wheels on it and get it down on the ground so you can see how low it is. Well, this is one of them instances where it's do as I say, not as I do. As you can tell, I got a brand new caliper, brand new brake line, and the caliper is hanging on that brand new brake line. I do have it set on this edge here, so it's not all the weight down on it. It's sitting on this edge right here. So, I mean, I guess I'm kind of standing behind, or, sticking with what I said about tying your caliper up so it doesn't stretch the brake line out, brake hose. All right, so let's go ahead and get started and put this on here. Okay, there's that one. I did repack the bearings for it, and I put a new seal on the back side because these are new rotors. You'll probably end up using your same old rotors, but because I would, but this has been sitting so long that the rotors were just so rusty that they were pitted and everything, and I didn't want to take the chance of having them fail on me or something. So then you take this and stick this in here. Can you see? Still can't see very well, can you? There we go. Stick this on here, like so. And then this has a washer that's got a little tab on it. The little tab fits in there. And then you got your castle nut. Well, that doesn't make much sense, now does it? Why is that out so far? That should be in further. Let's maybe we can tighten that down a little bit and see what we can come up with. Be right back. Maybe we can tighten this down and it'll push in further. No, that ain't it. What in the world? Why is that like that? No, this ain't good. Not sure what's going on. I mean, it's tightening down. It should tighten down to the point where the rotor won't turn, but it's still turning. So I must not have something going on here, right? So I'm gonna back this out. I'll bring you back in just a second. So I figured out the problem. It's the spindles. It seems that the spindles I ordered, which I ordered, I think like 4 years ago. I think that's what the last date on the box was. It was like 4 years ago. They're for an 88 through 91 C1500, and I'm trying to put them on a 96. The difference is that spindle, it's actually smaller in diameter, and it's also a half inch shorter. So I would have to go with some other rotors, possibly calipers, I'm not sure. So I have another set of spindles laying on the shelf over here that I bought for the 88 that I have out here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pull these ones off, put the Beltec ones on for the 88, and then these ones will, these new ones will go on the 88, and the Beltec ones will go on the 96. At least they look like they'll measure the same. They measure the same and everything. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. I'm not gonna put you guys through all watching that again, but I also want, mistakes were made. I'm not gonna, bleep it all out where you can, I can just say, oh, hey, look, it's done. No, it's messed up, but anyways, I'll bring you back in a minute. All right. I hope, I pray that I've got us back to where we were. So now I can go ahead and put the spindle on, put the castle nut on, and all that good stuff. Let's see if we are. There we go. All right, that looks better. This and this. Put these on here. Oh yeah, okay, that's much better. Okay, now we actually have some threads for the castle nut. All right. Seems to be dragging on the speed sensor though. So I need to figure out what's going on there. Okay, let's take this back off. We'll take this back off and move the backing plate or the speed sensor with the backing plate. We'll move it toward the front of the car a little bit if we can. I don't know if we can or not, but I'm sure hoping so. All right. Okay, and like I said, I'm hoping we can move that forward just a touch. It's gonna get a little loud. I'll try to edit it out though. don't know how much play I have in it because it fits right on this hub almost perfect. So I don't know. Oh, it either works or it don't. If it don't, it's gonna have to self-clearance, I guess. It's got just like frog fuzz touching on there. So I'm gonna say that's good. We'll go ahead and tighten this down so it stops or gets tight to turn. All right, that's pretty tight. Then we'll just move it back a little bit. Where's the darn hole at? That's what I want to know. Oh, there it is. Okay. Right there, I believe. Wipe this off. Get all the dirt off of it. Don't want to put dirt in on our freshly greased bearings. Yeah, right there. Okay. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that, I guess. Like that. Okay, there's that. The cap, I'll bring you back. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this cap out. I'm gonna pack some grease in here so when I put it on there that, you know, the grease will shove down in there, or any, that'll help. Having grease on here will help if by chance water or whatever gets past that. It won't get past the grease, I'm sure. But that's what I'm gonna do. I'll bring you back. Got the cap on there. Now let's get the brake caliper put on. Come on, get on there. Whoops. Let's get pushed out like that. going on here? Ooh, for some reason, things are tight. Oh, there we go. Just gotta drag out my other purse. Jeez. There we go. And put this in here. Where'd my socket go? Oh, here it goes. Got too much going on around here. I can't find my tools that I need. There we go. All right, I gotta move you guys. You're in my way. There we go. It's all back together this way. It's turning good. It's pretty free. I have not. Let me tilt you up a little bit here. I have not hooked up the brake line yet. Oh, speaking of brake lines, this caliper did not want to go on until after I undid the brake line. So I took the new brake hose off, and then put the caliper on, then had to put the brake hose back on. I've been calling it brake line, it's brake hose, sorry. And anyway, so I got this here to hook up in here, right here. Yeah. Can you see it? Can you see it? Look at it. Okay, yep, right there. I got to hook it up there. And this should be done. I am going to go ahead and hook that up off camera and put the wheel on and go from there. Shop's a mess. Oh my goodness. But there's the finished product with it lowered. I went ahead and stuck the back wheels on just so I could see what it was going to look like. I like it. The back actually seems like it's up a little bit too high, but I wouldn't want it any lower because them tires are, they're some big ones. See if I can get a back shot of them. Well, get the plastic out of there, that would help. But those are some big tires. They're Mickey Thompson's, and you can see they won't even fit underneath the lip right there, so they're even with the lip on the outside of it. So luckily I got 3 fingers. Should be okay. The front, I don't know, guys. I don't know. It almost kind of seems a little bit, I don't know, maybe a touch too low. Like maybe I should bring it up 1 inch. If I did that, I could use these springs in here on the other truck that I got out there. And so I may end up raising this up 1 inch, but this is what it looks like right now. And I'll tell you what, it is very hard to get a jack in or out of wherever you can to get this thing jacked up. All right, well, that's that. Ooh, nice close up of it. Looks good. Love it. Absolutely love it. I really hope this video is able to help somebody. There's a lot of videos out with lowering these trucks or C10s or, you know, the mini trucks, stuff like that. There's a lot of videos out with them showing how to lower them and everything, but I wasn't sure. Those videos, there's steps that are missed in them sometimes, and hopefully I covered every step that would have been forgotten in one of the other videos. I guess is the best way to explain it, because I know that people have questions about this stuff. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment. I read all my comments and I answer them back and everything. So I'll try to answer what I can. I guess with that, I just want to say thank you very much for watching. God bless you. And I will catch you on the next one.